Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode.
Welcome back.
Great job, Amanda. You nailed that one. Well, here we are. You are officially starting week 6.
Yes.
How are you feeling?
Good. Feeling really good. I have been watching comedies at night, which is, I don't know, put me in like a really great headspace before I go to bed, and things just are going well. I had great lab work this week. Things are going well.
Yeah, Amanda's lab work consistently improves on chemotherapy and radiation.
Right.
No.
Well, true, but there's like a few markers that haven't been tested.
No, but it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
And she saw one of her doctors today, and her doctor said so much. He's like, you look really great, and whatever you're doing, keep doing it.
That was his medical professional opinion.
Yeah, we felt that was a really good thing. I think anytime that you can get a doctor to react that favorably is a good thing.
Yes, and we got some questions answered, and I was glad that he was there. So yeah, I just gotta round out this last week, and then off to the races. I feel like.
a week from now, when we're recording this video, Amanda first will be done with her initial 6 weeks of standard of care, and then what it will look like is she'll get a 4-week break.
Yes.
And after that, her next MRI is scheduled
Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th of September.
Which we've decided as of today that that's not a scary number.
Yeah. So everybody, just if you're watching, if you're listening to this, and you're praying, you're sending love, good energy, all that, start putting some energy towards that date and everything preceding it, because that will be one of the really first significant milestones of that is that MRI.
Yeah.
And then that will kind of evaluate next steps and how everything's going. And we're very hopeful and optimistic and certain that is going to be a clean scan and great.
Yeah.
That the part of her brain that got taken out where the tumor was, we call that Chang crater after her Dr. Chang. So we're hoping that Chang crater forever remains empty.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know if I'm still sold on Chain Crater. It feels weird, but as of right now, like that's what we're working with.
We can renegotiate that. It could be like Chain Canyon or something like that, or
that sounds like a little more aligned.
Okay, we'll come back to that. We'll figure that out. It's a work in progress. Anyways, speaking of keeping your spirits up, you had one to share about an interaction we had last week.
Yes.
And go ahead. You want to start with that? You want to tell the story, and I'll just fill in as we go?
I feel like I wasn't very much a part of the story as I was like the bookend of it. Like I was there for part of it, and then my appointment was over, and then we left. But I've been very intentional about not saying a timeline or any number that has to do with a timeline. Like I've been very, very, very deliberate with not saying anything. I just, who knows, right? And I don't want to limit myself from that. And I had a terrible 2 days of not sleeping, and it wasn't even just my mind was racing. I didn't sleep well, and then that just cascaded into like being overly emotional over things that like wasn't bothering me. So I was coming into Friday just tired. I was so tired. Oh my gosh. I mean, I felt like I hadn't slept in a few days, and I was crying before we were walking into to the appointment, which had never happened before. And I walked in, and I was just kind of like didn't feel great. And all of a sudden, there's this older couple, and she starts crying. I'm thinking like, oh no, like this is probably the last thing I need right now is to just openly start weeping in a office. Haven't done it yet. And I just kind of sat there and I was listening to them talk, and what I overheard was that this mom and dad were looking out for their son who was diagnosed with a terminal cancer. And like, I just kind of popped up and I was just thinking, oh my God, I don't even know. I was just thinking, not even what are the chances, because I'm sure the chances are high given the place that
Given
we
the
were at. Yeah,
location.
given the lower.
It's kind of like going to Las Vegas and say, what are the chances everybody here likes to gamble?
Yeah, and
Or a
just
buffet. What are the
right.
chances everybody here enjoys buffets?
And then I just kind of like perked up a little bit, and the mom was having a really hard time, and the dad was really trying to console her, and she just kept saying, like, he's the baby of the family, he's the baby of the family. And just so everyone knows, I'm also the baby of the family. And she kept saying it was terminal. And then it was just about time for me to go, and I finally looked over at her. I said, I'm really sorry for what you're going through. Please know that my diagnosis is terminal, and never ever put a timeline on him, because just don't. And then I walked away.
How did you feel after that?
I felt, obviously very sad for the parents, but also just in that truth of like, don't ever put a timeline on someone, ever. So
did you feel there was a shift for you from feeling weepy and tired to feeling something different?
I think it was more, there are so many people going through this, and I didn't feel alone. Like, I didn't feel alone. I felt like, yeah, I was having a real shit day, but so are other people in the exact same situation.
Yeah, I observed just this really incredible transformation with you, with that, where you walked in one person and then you walked out a different person. And it's one of those things that's just such a, I wrote about this a little bit more length on a post over the weekend, and if any of you need, I can put the link to it in the comments here. But I don't believe in coincidences. I think it's really incredible that those people just happen to be there, happening to sit down across from us, going through what they're going through. And then what you saw was just this, kind of almost, you almost were in a defeated state, in the sense of just feeling so fatigued, sad from that. She clearly was, to then there's this transformation of you just re-tapping into that grace, that love, that power that you've carried yourself through this whole time, but then extending it to her, so that they were going into such a scary conversation. Instead of feeling helpless, they were going into it feeling hopeful.
Yeah.
And and that's transformative. And it's transformative for you, it's transformative for them, it's transformative for others. And it's such a, I think it's such a reminder for all of us that, gosh, so many of us are going through hard moments in different ways, shapes, and forms in our life. And sometimes in those moments we feel so helpless, or we feel so powerless, or we feel like we're just, there's no place for us, that we're insignificant in the scope of the world. But never forget that your life, your lived experience, can be just the very thing that is going to be transformative for another human. It's the contribution sometimes that we make to others in our lowest moments that can raise us to some of our highest of highs. And it's something that can take somebody who, by all accounts, should be tired. It's kind of the medical community's been waiting for you to show up tired.
I don't know. Like, everyone is waiting. Like, where is it?
Oh, finally.
Finally, she's tired.
So finally, our drugs got her. To then, snapping out of it. But wait a minute, this isn't me.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too, is sometimes when we get in those funky spaces, the emotion's so heavy that we forget that's not our nature, that's not who we are, it's not our essence. But we can start to almost succumb to the hypnosis of it. And not, go ahead.
But also, it was kind of an interesting thing is, I have been, to date, I haven't hugged anyone.
Yeah.
To hugging a complete stranger is my like comeback to like hugging people. But at the end of after I came out of my appointment, she was still there, and she gave me a hug. And for anyone that has seen me recently, I don't know how to hug very well. I almost, how do you explain it? I do this like awkward, like my arm doesn't work
She
kind
still
of thing.
can't quite have control over her right arm, and especially now because with the radiation, one of the side effects is part of her brain it's has some swelling akin to what she had post surgery, and with that there's some deficits that you're having.
Yeah.
And one of those is her not really having full control over. So if we're doing something and I were to say, okay, right hand do this, it'll do that. Okay, right hand do this, it'll do that. With you,
It's like whatever.
it might end up over here. It might end up over here. It still hasn't quite synced up to her brain.
No.
I think of that scene in Spider-Man 2 with Dr. Otto Octavius. Is that his name? And he's trying to get his bionic arms to start to do it. And he says, "Listen to me now. Listen to me now." And you never watched it, I know.
Yet.
But you just say, "Listen to me now. Listen to me now," and it's not listening yet.
No, not yet. Definitely not yet.
But you're right. So Amanda hasn't hugged people for these 6 weeks because she really wanted to insulate herself, protect her immune system as much as possible. Obviously, the great choice because we've known lots of people who've gotten sick, whatnot.
Yeah.
And so this person, though, what was really beautiful about this is, again, complete strangers. The lady got up and closed across the room so quickly because it was just so necessary for her to hug. There was no way for her to convey her gratitude and love she had for you in that moment other than a hug. And then the husband came and did the same to me.
Yeah.
And then, then we switched, and so I hugged the wife and you hugged the husband, and it was such a beautiful moment in a place that you wouldn't necessarily expect to find beautiful moments. And I think that's just another thing is, gosh, the opportunity to make beautiful moments is abundant, and it's everywhere, and it's always, we just have to be looking for them.
Yeah.
Or listening for them.
Very true.
You have anything else you want to say for this one?
I think that's all.
All right, everybody, we've taken up enough of your time for today. As always, thank you so much for watching and listening and being on this journey with us. We are deeply appreciative of you. If you have any questions that you'd like to answer, we'll be sure to put them in the comments. We'll answer them on the next video or the next couple videos. And then remember, September 13th is going to be Amanda's next MRI. That is going to be the kind of the foundation for this next where we go next with this. So put lots of love, energy, good thoughts towards that. We're always looking for clean scans. Clean scans, that's what I understand is the language we use for this type of stuff. That's it?
That's it.
Let's say bye-bye. That's a wave.
Oh.
Do you want to say bye-bye?
Bye.
And try to wave with your right hand now, just to show. There you go, see? Now you got a demonstration. All right, bye-bye, everybody. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode.
Damn it. One more.
One more. What
are we going to say?
Well, first we start with hello.
Hello.
Okay, here we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode.
Welcome back.
How come you have to fidget as soon as we say welcome back?
I don't know. It's the wind. It gets me every time.
And it makes you fidget?
Okay, let's do it again. One more time.
Okay.